Hey everybody, it's your buddy Eric, and this is Honest 5 for December 21st, 2019. I'm actually recording this in the morning, which is a big step for me and like kind of doing things. I'm a little bit later than I wanted to get started, but I did get started, so that's a thing, right? Can't complain too much. I mean, I can't complain because I do complain. I'll complain a lot, but it's okay. I'm very, very upset this morning. My ex-wife said, I was talking about getting Christmas presents for my boy, and she's like, don't buy him any Switch games. I'm selling his Switch. I'm like, what? Like, he's not following the rules. I'm like, it's not really how you like get people to anything like that. I understand like punishing children, but like selling his shit really. I'm gonna try to convince her to. I'm trying to convince her at least to let me hide it. Like she's not even telling him she's selling it. She told him it's broken and that like she's going to and she put it aside and it's just like it just pisses me off. Like I mean I tried to talking to him and being like, look, like like your mother doesn't like games. Like, I don't. She didn't tell me that when we got married, but let's put that aside. Right? Like, I mean, I think I've told this before, but like, she expected me to stop playing games once we were married and had a kid. Like, literally, she was like, we're having dinner on Christmas, like a few months before he's gonna be born, and she's like, so when are you selling all your games? I'm like, I'm sorry, what? She's like, well, you're gonna be a father, so you don't have time for games anymore. I'm like, I know I'm going to be busy, but like the child's going to sleep and, the child's going to grow up. And, you know, like you have so many conversations, right? People always ask me, like, why'd you marry her? It's like, well, like I was inexperienced and I was dumb and young and in quote unquote in love. But it's just like, do you really have the conversation of like, all right, so what am I gonna have to stop doing, right? Like, you talk about what you're going to do, like, like we would like to do this, or like to do this, right? We want to teach him English, all right? We want to do this, but like, I wouldn't say like, I mean, I at least was too experienced at the time to be like, I'm do is what am I gonna be expected to stop doing, right? Like, and it's like, yeah, I played games after he was born, but like, like I didn't ignore him, right? Like, I didn't like, you know, play games while my child was crying, and needed to be fed, right? It's just like no, it's like he was asleep. I mean, literally, there's a time when, he was just getting a little bit older. He was like one or so, I think. I started putting him to bed, right? Because like she was home with him all day, so like I would put him to bed, right? And I would put him to bed, and I would fall. I was like, at first I was like getting back up, but like I was like, you know what? I'll put him to bed. I'll fall asleep myself. 9 o'clock, and 6 hours of sleep. I woke up at 3 a.m. I woke up at 3 a.m. If I did translation work, I did translation work. Otherwise, I played games, and it was pretty good, right? Yeah, I was waking up at 3 a.m. But I was going to sleep at 9 and getting 6 hours of sleep, and like it was pretty overall good, and like does that make me a bad parent because I was coming home and hanging out with my child and helping with the housework and you know playing games from 3 in the morning until I went to work or until because they didn't wake up like there'll be many times, especially in the winter, where they didn't wake up until after I was already gone for work, right? I didn't want to wake him up because he was a little baby, he's like 1 or 2 years old. So you know but that's what I'm trying to say. Is just like yeah, I was definitely not giving up my hobbies, but like that didn't mean I ignored my child. Right? And it's a very busy life, right? And it's a difficult thing. Parenting is not easy. Like I've learned that constantly. It's like every little challenge. Dealing with him. Just like all those kind of things. It's not easy. It's hard, and like especially being divorced because like I couldn't. I'm far from perfect. That was actually an argument we often had. It was just like she would be upset about a mistake, and I was like I'm sorry. She's like, well, why do you keep doing that? I'm like, do you want an answer or do you want something like that? It's like I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes. Like I'm making a mistake. I am going to try to be better. And like the whole idea of like I'm imperfect like just wasn't good enough. It's just like that. No, you just don't do that anyway. I mean, I'm hard on myself that way. Like I don't allow for mistakes, but that's another story. But anyway, it's just like so I try to convince him that like look, like your mother wants things to be a certain way. Like do your work, go to bed on time, and you'll get to play more games and things like that. And I tried so hard to convince him, but like whatever, he's like fighting back, resisting, and now she's gonna try and sell his stuff, and just it makes me so upset. I feel like I failed my son.